What's going on, people? It's your boy, Derek Broome. We back at it again with another episode of The Net. This time I got a different line brother with me. I'm going to let you introduce yourself, brother.
What's going on, everybody? DeVun Stovall. Like I said, I'm his line brother. I'm like the more favorite line brother, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm preferred over the rest, but, I'm going to let him tell you that and everything. Right?
All right, so moving on.
That's crazy. This is a crazy start.
Today's episode I'm actually very excited about. I haven't had the opportunity to, really express this out loud. So today we'll be talking about father starvation. So the title of this episode is Lost at Sea, Fatherly Absence Explored. And so we're going to dive into what that entails. I think, my brother and I have two different yet similar backgrounds in that regard. And it's just amazing to see where we've come from to where we're at now, even with the ambitions of where we're going. So without further ado, we'll just go ahead and jump into it. And so the first thing that we're going to talk about is the impact of father hunger. And so really with that, I'll give you the opportunity to speak on how the hunger for a father figure or the hunger for, just male presence may have played a role in your life, whether that was now or as a child or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, so I think it's pretty interesting, actually, because I was talking to my mom yesterday about it because, I don't know who my father is or anything. And I won't get, too personal here, nothing like that.
They don't know that.
Oh, well, yeah. So I don't know I don't know who my father is. Never met him, never seen him, spoke to him, anything like that. And I was talking to my mom about it yesterday, matter of fact, and because we were talking about doing ancestry and everything like that. So I think that's pretty critical because we're talking about how it affected us then versus how it's still affecting us now. Mm-hmm. Because even now I still want to know who my father is, and maybe not even who he is on an individual level, but more so that's a whole side of my family that I don't really know. I don't have no connection with. I don't know their heritage, their history, nothing. I went to a I went to a reggae club the other day, and I had my hair in the two little pigtails. Mm-hmm. Everybody in there showing me love. I'm getting free drinks. They bringing me to the dance floor, trying to get me to dance. I'm oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. But the whole time, they're embracing me as if I'm already one of them. I'm whole time I don't know what's on my daddy's side of the family.
True, you might have that heritage in you.
I just might, but I don't know overall. So I think it's important in that aspect. Even outside of the fact that we're men at this point. Growing up we're young boys. We crave that male validation or that masculine energy coming from somebody that's older than us or more positive, because otherwise we either gonna get it from and it's obviously, I was raised by a single mother, so no offense to that, but I think it's completely different when the father's in the home, because he's gonna understand how to raise a young boy a lot better than a lady may, and even if I can't get it from inside the home, now I'm looking to young dudes that I'm growing up with. I'm getting my manly advice or my masculine energy from either dudes my age who also don't have a father, or I'm getting it from dudes on the block that probably don't have a father, but they ain't doing too well. They're not the most positive influence, So it's a matter of, just making sure that I had to teach myself throughout my lifestyle, all right, this is a positive role model. It's a positive black man role model. This who I'm going to follow. This who I'm going to look into and be all right, cool. I want to be like you, or I want to take certain aspects from you and apply it to myself, certain aspects from you and apply it to myself. And that's kind of how I look at it. I don't know if that answers your question.
Nah, it does. It does. You essentially, you got to build your own self, for lack of better words. And for those who don't know, my mother was also a single mother, and the dynamic, and we'll dive into that a little later too, so don't jump the gun, but the dynamic between myself and my brother with the relationship of my mom is a lot different. Now, my brother and I, my blood brother and I, we have the luxury of knowing who our fathers are. For me personally, I had to really let go of a lot of what I thought was wrong, so to speak. I didn't have my father's presence for a lot of years in my life, and I haven't really had that conversation with them on whether that was because my mom didn't want it or because he just wasn't around. So I've had that conversation with my mom, and she was like, I want y'all to have that relationship, but a lot of the times when the ball was put into my father's court, it was never picked up. You know what I'm saying? So it was just situations where, textbook Tyler Perry stories, sitting on the step waiting for Pops to come by. Pops don't never come by. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as a child, that's very...
It's traumatizing.
It is. It is. And as I got older, I tried to channel that energy into something else. And so I tried to make sure that I didn't always have that anger.
Yeah.
Because I know what that can do to a black man in America on a day-to-day basis. So walking around angry 24/7 for something that I can't control, I didn't really see no purpose in it. But I think that the impact is definitely tenfold, especially as a young man coming up. Like, God bless my mom's heart, but she had two boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's difficult to do. You can't really just keep your hands on your kids all the time, so you can never really monitor what they're doing 24/7.
Yeah.
And so for her, it was just very difficult trying to raise two boys, working 3 jobs. That's not easy.
Well, let me ask you something there, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good. You good. It's the whole point of the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. So I have a little brother now as well. Mm-hmm. Well, not now, but he's been around for a little minute, I guess.
Yeah.
So with your little brother, right? So like I said, y'all know who your father is. He just wasn't like as active,
Well, we actually have 2 different fathers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know that. Okay.
So
even with that,
even that relationship is different. But go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. Look, same thing with me and my little brother actually, but same thing with that. So you grew up without one, but did you have any like male influence to look up to, positive male influence to look up to, versus what you showed him?
Kind of, sort of.
Okay.
Now, my mom was a single mother, but of course, she's always looked for love. So I've come across, well, I will say we've come across, different, not too many, but different men that she's been in a relationship with who have positive attributes. I was just fortunate enough to be old enough to identify those. And so there were certain cases where I might not have agreed with who she was dating. And so instead of just always having a conversation with them, I would only interact when I saw those positive attributes. So if they outside working on the car, okay, cool. I'll go out there. I'll have a conversation with you. But if you in the crib and you just drinking, I'm about to go outside and play football. I'm not about to kick it here with you. Or if we just having a man-to-man conversation, that's a different story. And so we did have that, but my brother's relationship with his father is a lot stronger than my relationship with mine. Because, well, for one, my brother and his father have the same name. So they naturally...
Oh, I didn't know he was a junior. That's what's up.
He's not necessarily a junior, and I don't know the purpose behind that, but it's like the last couple of letters of their name is different. But if you abbreviate it, both of their names are Tim.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, yeah, his relationship is a lot stronger, and even growing up, his question was always why, because he was so young, and I felt like my mom was dealing with that anger and dealing with that frustration of having to do everything by herself. But as a baby, you just like, bro, I just want to see my dad. Like, I don't know what a bill is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to see my dad. And so for him, it was kind of like, I really don't care what's going on. I just want to spend time with my dad. But for me, it was kind of like, I was older. Me and my brother are 5 years apart. So I was older. I was in my teens when he was trying to grasp what was going on.
Yeah.
And for me, it was kind of like, I've seen my mom be like, yeah, this where we at. And then my dad has called me personally and be like, yeah, I'll come up this weekend. This weekend, come and go. The next weekend, come and go. And it's kind of like, I'm not going to keep chasing it. Yeah. And it's still, the unfortunate part is it's still somewhat of an issue to this day. But I've already expressed to him, if that's the grave you want to dig, so to speak, then that's just what it's gonna be. I had a conversation with him and my mom, but even him specifically, he told me and Tiffany that he would come by the house in January.
It's August.
You feel me? It's about to be January again.
You feel me? Nah,
So,
that ain't right.
But
And
I don't have that anger no more, so I just charge it to the game. It is what it is.
And you kind of, I mean, you don't really expect it at this point, right?
Yeah. But I also told him he can't expect to continue to do that, and then when we have kids,
Right.
want to be a part of their life, because that's one thing that I won't let happen.
Yeah.
I won't let them be like, yeah, granddad said nah. Because if he don't, now it's a generational curse.
Right.
And I won't let that. I can't.
My granddad ain't do this. He said he was gonna do that. I used to hate that, bro.
I can't let that happen, because my granddad, he was a true granddad. Like,
if he said something, he was
play
on
with.
it.
Yeah, not one to play. My mom's dad, not one to play with. Pastor, whole nine. Like, calling for water every 30 minutes, and you like, bruh, my grandma want me to go outside, cut the grass. Like, when it comes to grandparents, that's a very pivotal role, because even when I had my phase of like being bad, because I mean, if we leaning on stereotypes, because I didn't necessarily have that figure, I was definitely in the streets. Yeah. I was definitely like acting out in class, and it was difficult on my mom because my grades was good.
Oh, okay.
But I was bad as hell.
No, I had the same problem. My mom used to hate that, bro.
Yeah, and so then when she was like, bro, stop being bad, my grades would get bad, but I was good at school. So she was like, I don't understand you, sir. I know.
Man, because it boiled down to, look, I'm finishing all my work quick. Now what do?
Right.
Everybody else still working on it. I'm over here
chilling.
I'm chilling, so I got to disrupt everybody else.
Ready to wreak havoc, bro.
Nah, my mom was talking to me about that the other day, bro. I don't know, but like you said, that male influence, bro, it does a lot. Like, whether it's good or bad, because, I got kicked out of my first high school, Thero. And when I was there, I was under the influence of, like say, the dudes, like, in the neighborhood, or the folks at the school. The teachers didn't really care. Like, honestly, I don't even think it was no black men teachers there. I think they were more of, like, the administrators or, like, the disciplinary, but there weren't, like, any teachers that were black men.
That's a very interesting hierarchy.
Yeah. But I think it's probably for a reason, though, right? Because they figure men are going to be, like, more of the people that's going to be, like, authoritative versus women who are, like, and this is not what I think, by the way. I'm just trying to understand, like, their process or anything. Because women can be disciplinaries, too. Right? But, yeah.
PSA is crazy.
PSA, right? Look, get in trouble, bro. Got to finish law school first. But, I don't know. It was a weird dynamic. And then by the time I got to my second high school, everybody in there was, like, showing me love, like, from the teachers to the administrators, like, and they were black men, too, and they were embracing me, like, they wanted me to, and I told you, this is one of the stories why I joined Greek life, because one of my mentors, like, the route that he was pushing me down, he wasn't letting me go outside and not play with everybody else, but, like, like, after school, everybody be out there goofing around, or during lunch, you trying to have fun. He didn't let me do all that. Whenever it was time to do that, he called me back in, sat me down in the library, and he was making me write, like, scholarship essays, or he was making me do college applications and everything.
You do write a lot of papers, bro, and I commend you for that, because I hate writing.
It's probably because of him.
Yeah.
Blame that brother. It's probably because of him. He had me on top of it, man, but nobody else had ever looked out for me like that. So, and I told her, I'm like, you're probably, like, the closest thing that I have to, like, a father figure. You know what I'm saying? And he's embraced that. Like, he don't go around, like, but, like, yeah, I'm your father, I'm this and that. But, like, on a few occasions, he definitely hit me with, like, I got you, son. Like, everything like that. And that honestly it felt weird at first, but it made me also feel warm inside. Like.
That I understand. Because Tiffany's dad is like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if, well, for the audience. And were you at her birthday party? Her surprise birthday party?
No.
The Jersey party? You wasn't there?
No.
You was probably in BR.
I was probably in BR.
Okay. Well, I threw my fiance, not my current fiance, well, I won't say current because I ain't never had one before, but she's my fiance now. She was my girlfriend then. But I threw her a surprise birthday party.
Get in trouble, man.
I threw her a surprise birthday party, and not immediately, but, like, after the conversations that I had with her dad, at towards the end of the birthday party, he got on the mic and was like, yeah, so, I mean, you got my blessing. This was like day 2 meeting. You know what I'm saying? So,
word.
Obviously after that, after he realized how serious I was and how serious we were in regards to being a union, he never really strayed away from that. You know what I'm saying? So now, he'll call me like, "What up, son?" And so, not to say that I haven't had that, but the consistency is very important.
That's beautiful, man.
And so, let me turn that. That's my phone going off, y'all. My bad. Let me turn that off. But
That's too. She heard you say current fiance. She on you now. It's over with for you. No, I think that's a beautiful thing, though, bro. The consistency definitely matters, bro. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's harder. I would say like your situation was probably harder than mine, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
I won't say that it's harder, but I understand where you're coming from because once you know, it's
you're
like
exposed to it.
It's like, bruh.
It's like I'm taking it away from you.
Bruh, come on, bruh.
Yeah, versus me, I was never exposed to it. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't hard for me to like, you know what I'm saying, disassociate myself from it.
Yeah.
Like
I'm definitely I'm grateful that I was able to identify what I didn't want.
Yeah.
Because everybody can't do that, and so I carried that frustration and that anger for a long time, probably like 20 years.
Damn, really?
Yeah, for a long time, bro. Like it wasn't until it was sometime in 2020 where I was like, bro, you know what?
It ain't worth it.
I ain't even mad at you, dog. Like maybe that's just your nature. It is what it is. Like I ain't finna hold that against you. I'm not gonna act like everything is peaches and cream.
Yeah.
But ain't no point in me being mad about that no more. Like, so now my outlook on it is very different because before it was kind of like, why?
Yeah.
But now it's more so I appreciate, like, if I could go back, I wouldn't change nothing because everything that I am now is a culmination of everything that has happened.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. I would say the only part that I disagree with, I guess when it comes to, and like I said, our situation a little different, right? I don't even know who mine is. But at first, I thought I did. My middle name is, well, y'all don't know this, so my middle name is based on who my mom thought my dad was. So this whole time, I'm thinking that I know who the dude is. He just didn't want nothing to do with me, I ended up hitting him up one day. I think I stole my mom's phone, got his number out of it, and I just hit him up, like, I think I had to be, 16. And I was like, yo, like, what's up with you, bro? Like, I don't care if you want to be here for me or not, but, like, you see my mom over here struggling and everything like that. Like, the least you can do, brother, like, child support or anything, Bro, and he was like, look, I love you to death, but you're not my son.
I ain't the pappy.
I ain't to that. But crazy thing about him is, even though, like, we had that whole conversation that day, and from that day on, we speak every day. Bullshit you not. Like, I can look at my phone, I can show you my phone right now, and, like, we're going to have a thread, like, and it's been going on for, like, years now. Ever since that day, when I was 16. 25 now.
That's dope.
Yeah, so, like.
Everybody don't have that.
Yeah.
I don't got no extensive thread, and I know my dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's good. But I also don't have an extensive thread with her dad either. But I also don't like texting for real. So
fair enough, yeah.
Actually, that's not important. But anyway, so we'll move on. We'll transition real quick. So in your situation specifically, how did you deal with, or did you have to deal with being a man of the house?
Oh, of course. Oh my God. So, like, I was raised around all women. Like, literally, like, my mom, my sister, my mom's sister, my aunties, my grandma's sister, like, my other aunties, like, nothing but women, like, no dudes. Well, I got an Uncle Brian, but
Uncle B, what's happening?
Uncle B.
I don't know Uncle Brian, but shout out to Uncle Brian.
Man.
Or not.
I mean, he cool.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? He be in jail most of the time, but
free Uncle Brian.
He cool. You know what I'm saying? He got to start drinking. Feel me? But anyway. But yeah, nah. So I was the man of the house from like a very, very young age, and my mom just kind of embraced it. Certain things like she kind of put on me. Other things that I just kind of embraced myself. Like she didn't tell me to be like a protector of the house. And I'm like, what, 10, 11, 12 years old? What am I protecting? You feel me?
Right.
Realistically.
Somebody hit you with a slingshot, it's over.
I'm done, you know? So, you know, I took on that role myself. Like, even when, like, she had, like, you know, like, certain boyfriends, and I would hear things getting, like, too rowdy in the room, man, I used to have, like, this little weight thing in my house. Man, I used to,
So
like,
you've been lifting weights since you was young.
I ain't gonna say I was lifting them.
They was in the house.
They was there, though. Matter of fact, they weren't even mine. But, yeah, I remember it was times, like, you know, things got too, granted, nothing was happening, but, like, you know, when you were a kid and, you know, you take on that role as a protector, and it sucks, but you kind of assume the worst with everything. You know, it's like anything happen, you go out in public, you like, I hope nothing like this happened to my mom, or I hope blah, blah, blah. So when she would have like a boyfriend in the house or another male figure that I don't even know, but that's coming in the house thinking that like, you know, he the quote unquote father figure, I'm gonna have some like type of resentment towards you because I don't even know you, dude. So don't come in here trying to act like this authoritative figure. Like, no, we're not even rocking like that. So I would hear like, you know, like some bumping or whatever. Whole time they'll be moving furniture or something. But in my head, I'm like, oh no, buddy got
Problem child.
he. I'm like, buddy got the game messed up, bro. Like I used to be serious with it, bro. Do-rag on, Vaseline up my arms in case he tried to grab me. I used to have like the little weight thing in my hand. I was swinging it for practice. Pause. Oh my God.
The wickedness has begun.
Oh. Now that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, it happens
Can
to
we cut
everybody.
that? Can we cut that?
We could, but are we going to? That's the question. I don't know.
That was crazy.
That might be one for the fans. They might need to see that. There's women watching.
It's embarrassing. Nah, but no. So yeah, I took on like the role as like the protector. Even when you know, I never asked my mom for nothing because I knew she didn't really have it. So you know, I was working since I was like probably like 12, 13. Whatever I make, I ain't gonna sit here and lie and say I gave it all to her, but probably about a good like 45% of what I had went to her.
Better than me.
Man, like it was just like a little something because like, man, I knew she was struggling. And then the rest I was just like either spend on myself or like on food or something. But
Yeah.
overall, I ain't really asked her for nothing. Like my sister, I got an older sister and I got a little brother. My mom raised all three of us. My sister dad, he been in jail for the longest, like on some RICO shit. My little brother dad, he's around, but like he's the type that like he's around when it's convenient for him. You know what I'm saying? But none of them are giving like my mom like no money or really provide any type of help for her. You know?
Yeah.
So what was my point when I was saying that? I just forgot. I lost myself.
Man of the house.
Yeah, so, you know, my sister had, like, you know, her side of the family that looked out for her. My little brother, he's now, like, the youngest born. He the newborn. So, you know, he getting, like, all the attention, everything like that. Me, I couldn't even fix my lips to, like, ask for anything because they looked at me like, what? You feel me? Like, what are you talking about, bro? What do you mean you want this shirt, bro? Like, I'm going somewhere.
Yeah.
So I just had to, like, pretty much do it myself. And, like I said, obviously little things like, you know, trash or just handling like little, I guess, more masculine things, you know, making sure the house locked up at night, like just little random stuff like that I just kind of assumed the role of, you know. And then I don't know if they took it too serious at first. They didn't probably start taking it serious till like I got a little bit taller, voice got a little deeper, and they're like, oh, okay, like you're actually developing, you know, into like a young man, you know. That's probably the only time they really took it serious. But beforehand, yeah. I definitely took on those roles, but I don't know if they were actually me taking on the roles or just me thinking I'm taking them on.
Or having to really just sit into it. I mean, I can understand that. I had to do the same thing, so to speak. And I definitely had like waves, if that makes sense. There's a point in time where I just wanted to be a kid. Like I didn't want to have that responsibility. I didn't want to be the man of the house. I wanted to enjoy going outside and playing football, playing soccer, whatever the case may be. So after that phase, you know, my brother is around now, and it wasn't until I was doing what I was doing, you know, just nigga stealing from the mall, all that. So doing all of that, and I noticed that my little brother started to, and we actually had a conversation about it recently.
Yeah.
But it wasn't what we thought it was. But at the time, I thought that he was picking up the habits that he saw me doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was in that phase where I was coming home with new shit. My mom was like, "Where'd this come from?"
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, I traded my so and so. Oh, so you traded something that I bought." So now I'm lying, and my mom feel bad because she think that I'm giving her stuff away that she got for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, my little brother had stole like a hairbrush from a beauty supply store. Nothing crazy. Like he ain't gonna get no Rico, but I was like, dang.
Shout out
like,
to my sister dad.
I was like, dang, like he's stealing because I was stealing.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I had to kind of change the game up a little bit, and that's when I was like, all right, I got to start setting a different example.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until, for him, I don't think that it wasn't until I had a similar situation where somebody was at the crib that my mom knew that was staying with us, and it wasn't moving furniture.
Okay.
It was real deal, like aggression.
Yeah.
And so I had to step in and was like, this not finna happen. Like I don't know what y'all got going on. Y'all can yell all day long, but as soon as I heard my mom say don't touch me,
Raps.
so I stepped in, and I think, I ain't gonna lie, I got right with bruh. Like I ain't gonna hold you, like, but at that point I had been fighting, so
Yeah.
I already, like, when I stepped in I was like, bet, now I have a reason.
Yeah.
So when my brother saw that, that's when him and I became closer. Cause we've always been close, but it's my little brother, you know what I'm saying? So it's times where he's snitching on me, like I'm trying to sneak out the house, and I'm like, bro, like I'm your
What's
brother,
up with,
like,
come
come on, bro,
on.
like what the So it's different times where I'm like, nigga, you the op, bro, you are not, like, you know what I'm saying? So, but at that, once he saw that, he was like, oh nah, you that nigga for real. And so at that point we became closer, and then we was locked in. But it was a whole scene, bro. Like I had got to fighting with him, told him to get in the car. We peeled out, went to the police station. Police was like, "Why y'all at the station?" And we was like, "I mean, we called y'all, but we had to get out the scene."
Yeah.
So we come back. They see the house trashed, and the police officer was like, "You did this?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Okay." Bro was in the military and everything, so he was like,
almost wanted to shake your hand.
Yeah,
like,
I was like, all right, yeah. So my little brother at that point, he was like, yeah. So yeah, bro, you the real one. And
how old were you when this happened?
I don't even know, bro. I was still in high school.
Ah, got you.
Yeah, so
man, I can't even tell you when me and my little brother got cool. We were beefing for a minute,
bro. Who you telling? I remember to this day, I yoked my little brother up one time and busted his lip by mistake, and he started crying, and I felt so bad.
Yeah,
I felt so bad.
You ever look back on certain things that like you did, like well, aside from that, obviously, but other things you did to your little brother, you like, man, I really didn't have to do that. Nope. Okay, cool. But I would say I was meaner than I needed to be, but I mean, honestly, I could probably, and this is not me making no excuse for it, you know, I've talked to him, you know, I've said my piece, apologized, everything like that, and I've showed him like moving forward like what it is. But growing up 10 years apart, man, I just didn't know what to do with like a little brother. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Facts.
Like this is like someone who's actually blood that like I have to love, I have to, you know what I'm saying, cherish, you know, hold dear to my heart, and I just didn't know how to do that for another man or another boy.
Yeah, nah, I understand. You nigga come in the house, you like, bruh, who is this?
Yeah, you feel me? Especially when I'm like the firstborn boy, I'm like, oh.
Nigga, I was the firstborn.
Right.
And so I'm like, why we had to double down? For what?
We was good.
But nah, I definitely understand, bro. I definitely understand. I say that I look back and I be like, nah, but if you ask him, it might have been. He might have been like, bro, you ain't have to do that, bro.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it just boils down to niggas don't know no better.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. But now, like, him and I are much closer. He done came to the crib. You know what I'm saying?
I don't met him.
Shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's older now, because before I used to tell him the same thing. I'd still tell niggas to this day. I'd be like, bro, I can tell you this right now, but you're not going to understand it until you get older. I don't know why, but that's just how it worked, bro. Like, it's just not going to make sense to you until a couple years later. And almost every time, bro, and no matter how many years apart we are, he'll come back and be like, bro, you was right, bro. And I'd be like, I tried to tell you. So that between the
wisdom,
fight,
bro.
yeah,
Wisdom.
between that fight and he told me a story one time when he went to we went to the same high school. Like I graduated and then he went into that same high school.
Yeah.
And so like I said, we was 5 years apart. So a year after I graduated is when he went into high school. And at that specific high school, the football locker rooms are split into two. You got ninth grade and JV, and then you got varsity.
Okay.
Ninth grade and JV, typical locker room, lockers, lock, nothing crazy. Varsity locker room, fake grass, wooden lockers.
Wait.
Ain't no handle. It's like the NFL locker rooms. Nice.
What school is this again?
Peachy Ridge.
My God.
All like a whiteboard
Had turf
in there.
in the locker room?
Yeah. Not turf, but like it was great. Like the
Like
ground was
fake
green.
grass? Okay, I got you.
Like you could walk in there with your cleats type.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty smart.
Yeah. So
Very smart.
he came. He called me one day. And he was like, "Bro, guess what happened?" And I was like, "What?" He was like, "I really thought that you was lying this whole time. Where you was like." I would be telling him who I was cool with or like certain stuff that would happen, but he don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when you're young, seeing is believing. And so he told me he was like, he was in the, he had just got all his stuff. He was trying to go to the locker room. He left the locker room. I don't know why he was trying to go into the varsity locker room, but he was trying to go in there to get something, talk to somebody. I don't know. Yeah. So he said he goes in there. And you know how niggas are, high school. They like, hey, bro, like,
what you doing here?
This ain't you. You're not supposed to be up here. You better take your head down the block.
Get the hell on.
And so he said somebody was like, nah, that's Broome, little brother. And they was like, oh, all right. And he let him in the locker room. And he was like, that's when he knew, like, damn, like, yeah. He was like, damn, I really with my brother. And I'm like, I don't do nothing special, bro. I just keep it a bean, and that's just what it is. It was definitely a lot of niggas like in the locker room or on the team that had way more stain than me. I was a little nigga on the team, to be honest, but I was cool with niggas at the school. Like I had friends for real, so it was a little different. So when it might have been niggas like Trevor.
Yeah, true say.
Cause you know, Trev when he first came over there as a freshman. He was trying to put a name on the map for real. So I don't know what happened, you know, after I graduated, but it might have been a nigga like him, like, hey, nah, that's
Broome,
that's Broome, little brother, bro. Like,
man, what's crazy? That's how that was me in high school. Not more so like your little brother, like wherever I would go, like in my high school. This the first high school there. Mm-hmm. Like folks would be like, no, he cool. That's Tomcat, little bro. Like Tomcat was my neighbor across the street. He's probably one of the male influences that I was talking about.
Ain't that a show? Oh, no, that's Tom and Jerry. Go ahead.
You funny, bro.
I'm sorry.
No, it is Tom and Jerry. But, but I don't know what Tomcat did. I don't like the folks in my neighborhood. Like,
was that his real name?
Name Thomas. His name was Thomas. They called him Tomcat.
But why?
I don't know. And what's crazy, he was blood. So, like, the C in his name was a K. So, I don't know why they went to those lengths to... I don't know. I was a young dude. Like, bro grew up, like, in my sister era. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And, like, I just started going outside more and just started kicking it with him or going across the street because his family was cool with my family. So, you know, we was just locked in, you know. But I'd be in the school, and I remember at there, they used to do this thing called, like, free picking outside. Where, you know what free picking is, like, where they just see somebody random and just fall off on them. Yeah. Free picking. So, and I remember I used to be, like, outside. This used to happen, like, after school, like, when everybody finna get on the buses. Like, they had, like, this little green field out there. So, I'd be out there, me and my dogs, and, like, some older heads, like, I'm a freshman at this point. Some, like, juniors or sophomores, they'll come to me, like, hey, go ahead, slide on the bus, little bro. We finna start, you know what I'm saying, free picking out here. We won't need you involved and all that. I'm out.
You said they're on the bus?
Adios.
Let me go find my life.
So I'd be on the bus, like, just looking out the window, because, you know, they don't pull off to a little minute. I'd just be looking out the window, and I'd be looking.
It take forever for people to get on the bus.
Bro, especially when it's...
out.
Right. So, like, I just be looking, and I'm like, man, why me? Like, why? Because I didn't know, like, they knew that I was, like, you know what I'm saying, like, his quote-unquote little brother or whatever. Yeah. So, you know, I'm looking at people look out for me. I'm watching people look
Why
out
am I
for
the
me.
golden child?
Yeah, I'm like,
Yes,
bro, what
yes,
did
yes.
I do? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm saying this happened often. Like, and I'm just confused. And they like, no, yeah, you Tomcat little four. I'm like, yeah. You know, mind you, I ain't call him Tomcat at
Yeah.
the time. I just called him, you know, Thomas. That's his name. You know what I'm saying? That's
Anybody tell me you related to such and such? You good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I sure am. We was just at the reunion last week.
Yeah, I know his mama. You feel me?
Cousin too.
You feel me? Like, look, we really twins. But nah, so, you know, whenever they said it to me, I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. And then I was just good. All right, like I said, I never questioned it too much. When they told me that, I was like, all right, bet, cool. So I feel your little brother. I said that to say, oh my God. All right, bro, chill, bro.
I wasn't even gonna say nothing to you.
So what you started laughing at then, bro?
I was laughing at the fact that that's the outcome. Like, oh dang, you was him for real. But
Oh,
now
yeah.
you like,
yeah, no.
You took
Forget
it
that.
left.
Forget it. Cut that out.
I'm not cutting that out.
Two things you got to cut out.
I'm not cutting that out.
All right, man, whatever. So, yeah, like, I feel what you're saying, bro. Because it do feel good. Like, you know, people say they got stain, especially, like, if you just in the hood, you like, nigga, you just talking shit, bro. You ain't got no stain for real. But, like, when you see people actually, like, okay, yeah, no, like, clear him out the way, hit everybody else, but leave him alone, these your friends? I'm like, yeah, they with me. They good, you know? And I'm like, all right, bet. And they also had people that looked out for them, too, you know what I'm saying? But I won't, like, put all that on me. But, like, yeah, they definitely have folks. But, no, I definitely feel where your little brother can be coming from, because it's different when you see it versus like just hear it and you're like, be capping,
Yeah, you be like, bro, shut up, bro.
You feel
Like,
me?
ain't nobody for real. Like,
I know you, bro.
We live in the same house.
You feel me?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie though. He did tell me that too. He was like after he found out exactly, well, he still don't know everything, but like when he started finding out exactly what was going on, he was like, nigga, when did you have time to do this? Like, we lived in the same house, nigga. We shared a room. I'm like, yeah, but we was in two totally different worlds, bro.
Yeah.
Like, when I came home and I left, nigga, I was not going to study hall. Like, just understand that.
No, for sure.
All right, so we're gonna
Well, all right, real quick before we move on, you mind if we take like a little miniature break? I want to grab some more to drink.
Oh, for sure.
All right.
We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back, y'all. We back like every day with it. You know how we do it. It's your boy Devin. I got Broome right here next to me. I want to thank y'all for tuning into the show. We still going. I just want to thank y'all in advance. Go ahead, brother.
Well, yeah. Clearly, this is his show now. But yeah, so now we're gonna transition into generational impact. And so I know I spoke on it earlier in regards to like grandparents, but definitely want to get your take on how fatherhood or absence of fatherhood can be a generational impact, and how do you plan to change that?
Yeah.
Obviously, hopefully you plan on being involved in your kids' lives. But
I may go to the store to get some milk. I'm joking. I'm joking. But anyway, what was that? I think that we're like actually like living in what we're talking about, like the generational impact. Mm-hmm. Like we're living through it right now because, and I forgot who I was telling this to the other day, but I think it gets a lot deeper than just like a father not wanting to be there, especially like a black father, especially if you're talking about generational things, right? Because historically speaking, a lot of black men, like, they were separated from their own family, and I think that breaks down the entire structure of the family, because the family is supposed to be the father, the mother, the child, the children. So when that black man is stripped away from that, you're taking away a major dynamic in the entire thing. And whether it be due to like mass incarceration or police brutality and murder, everything like that. And that was to a point where it's like we're against each other as well. So, a lot of things factor into that. I don't think it's just like a lot of black men not wanting to be active in their child's life, but I think the generational impact of, like I said, mass incarceration, police brutality, even like homosexuality. Not saying there's anything wrong with it, but, that's obviously, we're talking about black fathers here, reproduction and everything. So, it's a lot of generational things that have like strong impact on how we view things now. Like it's to a point now where it's assumed that like, a black father is going to be a deadbeat. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody see a black father out on the street being active with their child, they're going to be shocked. They're like, oh, you're I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. Like, it's not a normal thing for people, even though, the numbers aren't that crazy. But, I will acknowledge that there are a lot of fathers that aren't active in their own children's life. So I think the impact is real. Like, I think that's one way to look at it. Like, it's impacting us now, like, not on an individual level, but more so, like, as a whole. Like, it's the generational impact is already here.
Right.
Moving forward, I will say, like, our stats have been going up. I don't know why I follow this, but, like, our stats have been going up as far as, like, fathers that are active in their children's life, or fathers that live in, like, the same household as their children. Like, the numbers have been going up pretty rapidly, actually. So I think the impact moving forward, I think it's quite clear that if you're not active in your child's life, like, you're lame. And I think that's, like, a good way to look at it, because everybody has, like, a general consensus on this. Like, whether you're talking to another dude, you're talking to a woman, like, if somebody were to say, like, yeah, I have a child, but I'm not blah, 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 it's, like, gonna be automatic, like, oh, yeah, this person he's a loser.
Yeah, you tripping.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, like, an instant thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's another impact that it has, like, and I see it getting better in the future, like, where people are getting shamed for not doing the things that they're supposed to do. And I think we should. I think we should bring bullying back. Like, bully these men that aren't being active in their children's life. I got a homeboy, he had 2 children at the same time, 2 different women. And I was telling him, I was like, man, look, what's already done is done, right? You've already did it. And he's like, no, I told her to get an abortion. I told her to do this. I'm like, bro, I don't care what you told her. You laid down. You feel me? Like, yeah, you laid down. You had sex with her. You know what I'm saying? Y'all did what y'all did. We knew the consequences, or we knew what happens after you have sex, right? And I'm like, you knew that, and you still decided to do that. And he was like, bro, she told me to do it. I don't care, bro. I don't care. You a man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got 2 homeboys actually, but shout out to that boy Carlos, man. He has 2 twin girls, and he prides himself on being a great father.
Beautiful.
And it sound good, you know what I'm saying, when somebody say it, but I've actually witnessed it happen. Like, I've seen him go to beyond great lengths to make sure that his girls have everything that they want. And then I got another homeboy, and I'll leave that information very minimal, but he has 2 kids as well. Similar situation. He was just like, I didn't know it was gonna happen like that, and it was kind of like the only difference is he didn't have that same reaction that your homeboy had. He was just like, I gotta do what I gotta do.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, that's real. Like,
it's real.
You don't find that response too often nowadays, and if you do, it's typically with some type of caveat, like, yeah, I gotta do what I gotta do, but I'm only giving 20%, or I gotta do what I gotta do, but only if she try to put me on child support. You know what I'm saying? It's always something. So it's good to see that the generation, at least that we're in, of fathers that are coming up, aren't the same as what our track record speaks.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I got a few home. Matter of fact, Shams. This man love his daughter to death.
Shams got a daughter?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, she's like 2 at this
point.
What? Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Nah, he's a wonderful father, bro. Like, do everything from providing for her to providing for his baby mother. I'm sorry, his fiance now. Excuse me. Sorry. But
hey, congratulations, man.
Yeah. Like
everybody getting engaged this year. I don't know if it was this year, but everybody getting engaged.
Everybody getting engaged. It's been.
You up next?
I'm not up next. But I wish. But yeah, no, like, so I see, like, active fathers out here, and like I said, I'm seeing more of it, like, whether it's, like, little boys, little girls, like, these men are, like, stepping up and actually being there, but I'm also hearing, like, through a lot of women that, a lot of dudes aren't, and, like, that's why you have, like, baby mama, baby daddy culture, which I don't truly understand, but it's like, if he wasn't a good father to that child, what made you think that him having your baby would...
I can't say that's 100% true.
Okay, talk to me.
Because I know somebody who doesn't have the greatest relationship with their baby mom. But that's not affecting the children.
Okay.
And it's not to the point to where the father is a bad father. It's just the father and the mother just don't get along.
Yeah, but I mean,
Sometimes you
usually
fall
that
out of
works
love.
out in the yeah, it happens, right? But I guess like based on my experience, like the things that I see or hear about, like legally speaking, right? I'm
Oh
just be
God,
honest.
they come to law school.
No. Just legally speaking, we knew this before law school, right? Like the courts are more in favor of women when it comes to like family court or, uh, things dealing with children, child custody, everything like that, than they are with men or the father in a situation. Now, I will say everything else in the court of law is centered towards men. So I'm not necessarily mad at that. Like, but
Nah, I definitely understand. My saying homeboy that Carlos, he had
yeah,
to actually. I knew him as he was going through the process of getting his daughters legitimized,
yeah.
and so
Dang, how was that?
I don't really know like how it was for real, but
Yeah,
I could tell that it was not an easy process.
yeah.
And it's not because of the relationship between the parents. It's more so the happy medium. And so
Mm,
it's not in every case, and I'm not gonna speak on all of his business, but
yeah, for sure.
you have to at least, I think, like one of the bare minimums again, I think, is like you have to at least have a schedule of when the parent will have the children.
Yeah,
And so when you bring your job into that, that's when it becomes difficult, because if both parents work 9 to 5,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Or if one parent works overnight, that's an issue. And so then it becomes a
Especially if
whole
you don't have a
thing.
lot of money too.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then we not even gonna talk about court fees. So yeah, yeah.
No, it
But
can be a lot.
I definitely agree with you though. I think that the generational impact is something that we're living in, but on a broader scale, I think that it's something that we're changing,
Absolutely.
and I think that's the takeaway from it. I think that that is what we are aiming towards, and that's a positive outlook. That's a good thing to see, especially with our culture,
Hmm.
and given the statistics and given the numbers, and the everyday life or everyday issues that we suffer. Is good to see. At the end of the day, we're trying to break that stigma.
Bro, the most important thing, bro, that we have in this life is, well, one, God, of course, right? And two, family. So it's very important that like we have like that we're changing this generational curse that's been placed on us,
Yeah.
or that stereotype that's been placed on us, because we need to get back to a point where we're building this thing that's most important in this life that we're living right now, in the physical life that we're living, family. So I'm happy that we are getting back to that and breaking those generational curses. But I will say, I don't know, bro. I'm be honest with you. Maybe we're just saying that because like we're in a different area now than we were when we grew up. So we don't know what it's like in that area now, to be honest.
That
Like
is true.
class wise,
That
you
is
know
true.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I still see a lot of things on social media, and granted, social media isn't real life,
No. Probably the worst place to live.
It's the worst places. But still, like, you're still seeing a lot of broken families, or yeah, just overall broken families. I'll leave it at that. And I think it's because we're in a different like class now where we look at things a little differently. And granted, this isn't set in stone because obviously, regardless of what class you're in, if you're a good father, you're a good father, you're a good mother, you're a good mother, and if you're a bad one, same thing, vice versa. But I think overall, like our view on it has like shifted, not only because of like we've grown in life, but also because of our experience with our fathers or lack thereof. Because if you put two people in a room, two sons in a room, and you say the dad was an alcoholic, you ask one, he's like, "Oh yeah, I seen my dad drink. I don't want to have nothing to do with that." The other one gonna be like, "Yeah, I grew up drinking because I seen my dad doing it."
Right.
So
It's a matter of what you take away from that situation.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think we're at a point of our life where we have like a certain level of wisdom where we can take the positive away from that and be like, "Okay, cool. I seen what that did to him. I'm not gonna do it as much, or I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying, do it to that extent, you know, versus people who don't have like, and this is not to down them, but like if they don't have like a certain level of wisdom, they don't have a certain level of knowledge or, you know, experience, then they won't be able to make those type of correlations when it comes to like things in their life.
Yeah, I could definitely understand that, and I won't. This is not to bash anybody that
Yeah.
smokes, or anybody to any point. But I seen my dad smoke a lot, and then I never met my grandparents on my dad's side because they died of lung cancer.
Oh my God.
And so it's kind of like growing up, I was like, nah, I'm not trying to be around no Newport. Get the 100 shorts away from me. I'm not going.
The Camel.
Yeah, I'm not going. But so that's just a matter of seeing a situation and being like, nah, I know what that does to a person, or I know what that could do to a person, and so I'm straight on it. But again, I forgot to give the disclaimer earlier. This is just our virtual diary. This is not Bible. This is not law. We're not telling nobody how to live. We just voicing our own personal opinions. Please feel free to disagree at home to yourself.
For sure. Look, I'm up here talking about drinking. I'm in here drinking up all this liquor right now.
Hey, please, because we're not going to drink it for real. But, so with all of that being said, if you could paint the perfect family for yourself, including your parents and, you know, your fiance, your children, what would that look like?
Man, that's a question. Obviously, you know what I'm saying, I'm a monogamous person. I mean, I am Muslim, so polygamy is a thing, but it's not a thing for me personally, so don't want to go down that route. So, you know, one wife, of course. Overall, just
What's
like
her name? I ain't gonna do that to you, man. I ain't gonna do that to you, man.
Man, who knows? I know, but
Nah, all of a sudden he know. Go ahead, bro.
but no, just overall a beautiful woman that really embodies what it means to be. She's going to be a black woman, by the way, but that truly embodies what it means to be like a black woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, feminine, of course. You know, I think I have enough masculine energy to, you know, to match both of us, like yin and yang. Like, I'm gonna have like a little dot of femininity in me. She gonna have like a little dot of masculinity in her. But like overall, like our overall aura, masculine, feminine. You know. And it don't necessarily have to be in like a dominant, submissive type of way. Granted, the dynamic of our relationship may just kind of go into that just based on the fact that like I'm a leader, like naturally. So the woman I be with, she's gonna know that about me. She's gonna trust, you know, that I'm not gonna lead her on a bad path or in the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? So I want to have a lot of kids. I won't put like a specific number on it because, like, I'll be honest, I want as many as three things. I want as many as I can provide for financially. I want as many as I can provide for emotionally. As a matter of fact, let's combine those. Provide for in general, whether it's financial, emotional, spiritually, socially, whatever the case may be. If I'm able to provide for them, I want to be able to, you know, do that to the fullest extent that I can, right? And as many as my wife is willing to, my wife in particular, I'm going to be married, is willing to push out. And I just,
You didn't want to say have.
I mean, let's keep it a buck.
You had to say push out.
Push out, like it's,
Alright.
that's a burden that we don't carry.
That is true.
You know?
And I commend y'all because I could never.
Yeah, so like I have to keep that in mind because I can sit here and be like, yeah, I want like 6, 7 children, but I have to be mindful of her health, her body, her mental, everything like that. So
Yeah.
if I want 6 or 7, but we're only able to push out 3, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, the miscarriage rate for African American women is astronomically high.
Man, bro, it's terrible. It's terrible, man. So, you know, I want to make sure I'm being considerate of that. But yeah, so that's gonna be like the immediate family, right? Obviously, I don't like. So I say I know who this woman is, but I don't truly know until I know, right?
Right.
So, you know, her side of the family, I won't put like no barriers or anything on that. Like I won't say, oh, she has to come from a 2-parent home. I didn't come from a 2-parent home. I think it just boils down to her as a person, and then I can deal with her family. I haven't met, and I'm gonna knock on. Well, I can't knock on wood right now. I don't want to jinx myself, but I know I looked around too. I can't reach that. But like as long as she's a good woman. Like I haven't met any one of the women that I've spoken with, like on a serious note, and I met her family. They've all liked me in the beginning. Like if I've done
The beginning is
now,
crazy.
if I've done something to ruin that, all right, that's a little different. But if they like me in the beginning, I can always come back from it. And this not me. Okay, let me rephrase. That sounded terrible.
Yeah, you sound like
Yeah.
I'm the king at players ball.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what it just sounded like.
This is wild.
Forgive him, ladies. He don't mean
Forgive
no
me. That's
harm.
not what I didn't mean it that way.
Charge it to his head, not his heart.
What? I didn't mean it like that. I'm more so saying like I can grow as a person. So if they like me, then they'll love the person that I can grow and develop into.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if I made a mistake that they didn't like, I'm gonna learn from that mistake.
Right.
I'm gonna learn from that mistake and grow into like not a different individual, but one that has more experience or wisdom under his belt. But I mean, I guess that's all I can really say to that question, though. I do want to be like my family's going to be like black though, like, and I don't mean just like skin color wise, like I mean culturally. I don't know, somebody pulling, but like culturally black, like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, like we're close as a family. Like I'm gonna have a room in my house that's going to be like it's like a second living room in a sense. It's gonna be like the communication
Family room,
room,
dining room type vibe.
yeah, like where we come in there every night, if not every night, at least 5 times out the week. I may give them the weekend, depending on like how old they are to do their own thing. But 5 nights out the week or 5 time periods out the week, we're meeting in this room and we're having like open dialogue, and we're trying to develop like a better relationship with each other, like a better understanding. Even if we just go in that room and it's like our designated family time and we all just reading the same book or a different book and we over here giving like opinions or ideas, or if it's something like that I'm teaching them that they may not learn in school, or if we break it up to a point where, all right, this my night, I'm with my sons, or all right, this my wife's night, she with my daughters, and like we just teaching them certain things that they need to know as a man, as a woman, or someone that's growing into that. So overall, like I think I just want like overall like black family. There's gonna be a lot of culture in my house, a lot of traditions going on, and a lot of pride as well. So I would obviously have to be with a woman that embraces that as well,
For sure. It's funny enough that you mentioned that. I recently told Tiffany like, well, I didn't tell her. I asked.
She's gonna watch this, man. You're gonna be in trouble.
I do the editing. She probably ain't even gonna see this till it's published.
Okay.
But I asked her, is it cool if when we start having kids that we practice Robert's Rule of Order?
Okay.
So with that, we would have like a family constitution. And so,
I think that'd be dope.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like if the kids if they want to do something that's not aligned with that, okay, that's cool. Make an amendment. Let's talk about it. And let's see, let's vote on it as a family, and we'll go from there.
He got to second it, so
you know what I'm saying?
You and your brother, you and your sister got to be on point.
Got to be. So I feel like that'll be dope. But I'm super excited.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for not only what's in the future, but specifically what's in our future. I feel like the circle that we keep, a lot of people are doing a lot of great things. And that's why I was so eager to have you come here and do this episode, not only for an opportunity for us to speak on our experiences, but really an opportunity for us to just document where we're going.
Absolutely.
Because 10, 15 years down the line, whatever happens to this episode, whether we publish it or we don't and it go in the archive, which it probably won't, but whatever happens, we'll be able to look back at this and be like, wow, like we really spoke this up, or we brought this into fruition, or whatever the case may be. We have that substance, and we can sit back and say, like, even if we at some point, hopefully God willing, at least 100 years from now, when we on our deathbed and we can't explain that story, they have that footage. They're like, yeah. that's Pops and Unc just on the couch chopping it. You know what I'm saying? Or yeah, when they talked about the family constitution back in 2013, it's damn 30-35. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my spiel. You know
That's a beautiful thought, though.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Like
Don't cry, bro. Don't cry.
Man, you know I'm sensitive, bro. you know, you know I'm sensitive, man.
Nah, you got that lick in you. That's what it
Nah,
is.
that's really what it is, man. That's that stuff that Horace brought. You said, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, but I think it's pretty cool. Like just the thought of like the fruits of our mind coming into reality. You know.
Yeah.
And just thinking about that, like that alone is motivation to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be honest with you, bro. Like, and it's kind of like a side note, right? But like me being down there in law school, bro, like it's so easy to lose motivation in like certain things because it's like you're just doing work all the time. You reading, you writing, you reading, you writing, you talking. You know what I'm saying? You're not really doing too much like out of the ordinary. But like conversations like this, bro, it really brings you one back down to reality, right? And two, it makes you, you know, eager about the future that you may have or that you will have. You know what I'm saying? Like overall, I like it, man. And like I didn't realize how much this was needed until we just started like diving into it. But
sure.
we can get back on topic, man.
Sure. I mean, well, we've covered a lot. We've covered pretty much all the points without actually even trying to cover them. But we do have these last two questions that we have to ask.
I'm gonna say I got questions too, man.
I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
So I'll ask you these questions and then we'll open the floor for Q&A. How about that?
All right, let's do it.
All right, bet. So the first question is actually, you know what? We'll say that. We'll say that for the end. What's your question, man?
I mean, I was gonna say like, I know I spoke about like, you know, where I got like my influences from, as far as like, you know, me being outside or, you know, me being around like I guess like the wrong crowd or whatever, and I'm getting my influences from them or other dudes my age that also don't know what they're talking about, but we listening to like, you know, the music, we watching movies, and we're getting kind of influences on what we think a black man is based off or a black positive, not even positive, just a black figure as a whole, a black man.
Yeah.
From like the TV screen or, you know, what we listening to, what we hearing, or a lot of us growing up, we get like we get taught what it means to be a man by a woman. And sometimes it can be a little faulty, right? Because, you know, I do think that, you know, the thought process be a little different because we all experience different things and your life is based on your life experiences, you know? So I think it's a little difficult, like, to kind of find, like, that identity as a black man, you know, or that positive identity as a black man. So how'd you get yours, if you don't mind me asking?
Man.
Because, matter of fact, before you even speak, because I say that because, like, Broome I'll be honest with you, Broome is one of the guys, like, when I came up to Kennesaw, like, that I looked up to. Like, we both had a dude that we was real cool with, part of AMI, and, you know what I'm saying, we both looked up to him, but, like...
Shouts out to TB, man.
TB, what's up, man? But once he graduated, you know, and honestly, I think that's how we got cool, right? Through TV. But once he graduated, Broome stepped up. I was still, you know what I'm saying, a little younger. I had a little bit, you know, I had a little more time. But like Broome stepped up, and he was one of the people that like I genuinely looked up to, like on a big brother type of level, you know. And I still look up to him like that now.
I just smiled at the camera.
Some of the time. That's
it, bro.
But like I would say like you and like I said TB, of course. We got other line brothers that I look up to and everything, and you know lines are often blurred because you know we crossed at the same time and everything. But like overall, like I'm not gonna say I'm young or nothing like that, but when we crossed, I was younger than aside from Danny, I was younger than most of my line. And so I would find attributes in different people, but he was like the main person that I seen like that type of leadership or that type of initiative or like just like that positive image of a black man. And one, I want to say I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Because you always held it down. You was always solid. You feel me?
For sure, brother. For sure.
And then two, like I said, how did you get to that point? Because the person I met is, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's.
So for me, honestly and truly, it was a combination of my grandfather, my grandmother, and my mom.
Okay.
So my grandfather, like I said, he was kind of like that stern, don't play no games. I mean what I say, and when I say it, you better move when I say move. Like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't play no games. So seeing him raise his kids, I don't know if you know or not, but my mom had 6 other siblings.
Nah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so grandma and granddad was busy. You know what I'm saying? So seeing him raise, seeing him raise all of those kids, well, not raise, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like how he interact with them, it was kind of like, oh, you really run this house for real. Like, it don't matter who he talking to, it don't matter what he say, somebody gonna answer.
Yeah.
So seeing that little glimpse, he did pass away in the early 2000s. But seeing that little glimpse, it was kind of like, okay, so this is what this might look like. And then seeing my grandmother step into that role with almost zero hesitation.
Yeah.
That is kind of like, oh, so this is the powerhouse. And so even, like I said, when I was cutting up in school and my mom had enough, she would send me to my grandparents' house. In my mind, then it was kind of like, bro, I don't want to go over there. Like, nobody. It's nothing to do in Columbus, first of all, and I don't have no friends there. But that was the point.
They stayed pretty far.
Yeah, like that was the point though. My mom wanted me to be around my grandparents because she knew the parenting skills that they had, and she knew I was gonna be in church every single day.
Yeah.
Between choir rehearsal and Bible study and Sunday school. It was literally every day.
But that worked out well for you too, because I know you're a very religious person.
Yeah,
very
it did.
tapped in. I know your relationship with your grandma, so like that worked out.
Yeah, it did. That's why I said if I had to go back, I wouldn't change nothing. And then with my mom, for me, the biggest thing was seeing my mom's work ethic aligned with the struggle. And so I would see her come home from one job, change clothes, and go to the next. And she'd be like, look, hold it down, watch your little brother, I gotta go to work. You know what I'm saying? And so hindsight is always 20/20, but she put me into that leadership role without her knowing it and without me knowing it. So it was like, look, I gotta go do what I gotta do to handle this household. I need you to just watch over this.
So it boiled down to that being a man of the house.
Yeah, it boils down to that. And so after a while, it was kind of like, okay, if mom's is at the job and we out here, I know my little nigga hungry. So now I got to go in the kitchen and cook.
Yeah.
And so now I'm learning small skills that may seem small at that time, but even to this day, they're larger on the scale. So like when she come home and she tired and don't want to cook, I could go in the kitchen and throw down because I've been cooking since I was 11, 12 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So those small things are like seeing my mom tired and just falling asleep in the car. Like she get home, park the car, take a nap. And so seeing that, it's like, I don't want you to have to be tired 24/7. What can I do to help? And so that's what kind of gave me those smaller attributes. And then really, bro, after that is just life. Hanging out with the people that I hung out with. I had partners that was like father figures, but everybody played their role. And it was always a season, but I didn't realize it until I got older. And so I had a homeboy. I was up to no good, bro. Like, I was up to no good. I won't say no good, but like I was trying to slide to my girlfriend's crib at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because I was in high school at this point. Yeah. My mom ain't finna let me drive. I'm like 15, 16. You know what I'm saying? I'm a freshman. So I'm trying to, go see my girl at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because I know I can't leave. If I leave during the afternoon, my brother gonna want to come. I can't go during the day because I'm at school.
Yeah.
So I gotta sneak out at the wee hours. And so I had a partner who was like, bro, if you need to just take my car, excuse me. If you need to just take my car, then just take my car. I'm like, take your car. Yeah. But he grown, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how old he is now, but back then he was like 25, 26. So he grown, you know what I'm saying? So for him to be like, yeah, bro, just take my car. In my mind, I'm immediately like, why? Why are you gonna let me take your car? Because of what reason? Because you know where I stay, like what's up? But it boiled down to him understanding where I came from and him knowing like I'm cool with you to the point that if you need me, I got you.
Yeah.
And so that happened. Then I had a homeboy. Hey, shouts out to Miguel, man. That was a very important friend that I needed in my life, but I didn't know it at the time. But that was my partner for real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we in high school, so, niggas still growing.
Yeah.
But he let me, I mean this with no ill will and no malicious intent. But Miguel is Mexican. He has small feet.
Was he one of the Mexicans that said nigga?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
And I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's one way to look at it.
But I'm saying we in high school, and so for me,
yeah. You ain't thinking much of it.
Nah, but and I came to his hood. Like, we moved into their neighborhood.
True say.
So we get on the bus, and this nigga's on the bus, and he like, "What up, nigga?" And I'm like,
"Me?"
"Oh, it's cool." I was like, "Oh, it's cool." All right, cool.
We had a white boy named Brandon that went to my school, bro, and like they let him say nigga. I personally was not. I was never fond of it. Had he been Mexican or something, or honestly anything else, I probably would have just been like, all right, whatever. But the fact that he was white, it just didn't feel right. But and you know what? That's a whole different subject. Go ahead.
But yeah,
because that nigga got me on. He the one that got me kicked out of school.
You got you kicked out of school.
I wouldn't have got caught for one for him. Because that nigga ran through the locker room as he's getting chased by the police and the administrators. And he ran through the locker room that we were smoking at. And, hit, I didn't let him my blunt. He hit somebody else's blunt. End up hitting that shit.
I'm sorry, he was running through the locker room, stopped to hit the blunt, and kept running?
Yeah. So the smell and everything is following him. Hey, I'm not mad.
That's a nigga move. I ain't
that's
gonna lie.
Like,
that's a gangster.
It is. But he kept running, and then so he led them like through us, and I would have got away with it
if it wasn't for that meddling. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But yeah, so
if you're watching this, Brandon, boy,
you. He would let me borrow his shoes.
Okay.
And
that's love.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? At the time, like, love. I wasn't no sneakerhead, but like he was. He had, I'm talking about the ones custom with the laminated, like,
as long as you took care of them, you were solid,
bro. And I'm in school, dripped out, feet hurting like a mother.
Oh, his feet was smaller.
Yes.
Oh, you said he got small
bro,
feet.
Yes, he wore like a 6.5. I wore like an 8. I'm like, yo, my toes is killing me, but the love me,
bro. I swear to God, one of my sister's ex-boyfriend got me some Gucci shoes, and they was like a size too small. I used to wear the every day, feet curled up in them.
You finna see me? I'm taking the soles out. I'm gonna make some space in these shoes.
Look, laces loose as hell.
Oh God, bro.
Oh, that's funny. Go ahead, bro.
But yeah, he was a very important friend, bro. Like, now, granted, I did get into a lot of the trouble that I got into with him, but that was my nigga, bro. And so him and his family were so close, but they also understood what a struggle was. And so it was easy for him and I to relate. And that relationship, that friendship is what started to build my manhood. And so I was like, okay, I'm not the only one that's going through something. It's hella people in the world going through something. Yeah. So he got friends and family, like niggas getting deported. You know what I'm saying? I got friends and family, niggas dying. You know what I'm saying? So
different struggles, same.
You
feel
me?
Idea,
and so it's like now our mindset at the time, like, granted, it wasn't the best, but we was like, hey, we got to find a way to get this money by tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so we started doing what we needed to do, and then I started to realize, like, then that's when, like, different aspects of life started coming in. You know what I'm saying? Or I would hang out with some of my homeboys, and this was in middle school. They was full blown GD. Like, ain't no turning back to this day. And you know what I'm saying? I'm kicking it with them, and I'm like, yo, y'all niggas is for real. Y'all some for real gangsters. Like, we in the 8th grade. This is crazy.
I mean, that's usually when 8th, 9th, 10th. That's
you
usually
feel me?
when.
But I'm still trying to maneuver through life, and so I'm like, is this what I want to do? And I entertained it for a lot of bit. But at a certain point, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, when my little brother started to fall into those behaviors, I was like, yeah, I gotta chill because now this is getting out of hand. And so then when I get to college, that's when the game changed. And so for a while, like I've always been like the class clown, or I've always been like the social butterfly. But specifically when I got to Kennesaw, I wasn't originally. And I think that's because I reverted back to like me as a child. I was like, all right, let me just stand back, observe the scene, because it was a new area.
Yeah.
So let me stand back, let me observe the scene.
New.
I didn't know nobody, bro, but I didn't know nobody. I thought I didn't know nobody. Come to find out, it was like hella people. Yeah, it was hella people from my high school that went to Kennesaw. But when I first got there,
it's a whole different experience, though.
Yeah, when I first got there, I'm like, I don't know nobody out here. I don't know where I'm finna live. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was commuting. So I was driving from Kennesaw back to my mama's house.
Oh, you wild.
Yeah, so like
what's
I
that
was
probably
really,
like 45 an hour?
For sure. So I was really just by myself. Like, and so it came down to my best friend to this day. Her name is Rochelle. Love you. I was going to work, and I would just go to work, clock in, do my job, go home. That was it. Go to class, go home. I wasn't doing nothing.
You've always handled business.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. So, and even that, bro, like, that just comes from struggles, bro. Like, and I apologize, Mom, if you don't want me to put all your business out, but like seeing my mom's car get repoed, shit like that, or like actually being in the car, been in the block running from the tow truck, like that's,
I remember that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, so at that point I'm like, bro, I have to get this bread because I can't let this be my life.
Bro. But I will say this though, bro, like, and this no disrespect or nothing to my little brother, but like me and my sister, we were raised different. Well, I was raised different from my sister because she was more like on her grandma's side. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I was staying with my granny most of the time. Mm-hmm. But, like, my little brother, like, he didn't see, like, none of that happen. He kind of caught my mom when she was in a better position, you know, everything like that. Or, you know, in the age of technology, so he don't go outside like that as much. So, I don't know. I'd be kind of fearing for him a little bit because we had a conversation the other day. No, he told my mom the other day. We didn't talk about it. I got to talk to him about it soon before I leave. We was telling my mom, like, he didn't want to go to college and this and that. And I'm, you know, I'm like, okay.
My little brother don't want to go to college. Still ain't in college.
Yeah, and that's my thing. Like, if you don't want to go to college, that's cool. But what do you want to do? Because I didn't have I didn't get to have these conversations until, like, it was too late. Mm-hmm. I was, like, in 11th grade, 12th grade when I had these conversations when people were damn near forcing me to do it. Like, the school I went to, like I said, bro didn't let me go outside and, you know, turn up with everybody. I wasn't at lunch. Bro said, like, no, like, you're in here. Like, and it ain't really. And I'm be honest with you, bro. Like, when you young and you actually experience, like, a very, like I said, stern black man figure, it ain't no telling him no.
I'm not going to cut you off.
No, you good, bro.
Remember your part in your story. But that's another, and I can't even believe that I forgot. But, like, I had other homeboys that I was kicking it with, like, I think, you know what? That's what it was.
And they had fathers that were like that?
They had full-fledged homes.
Okay.
So, my homeboy, his name is Darian Horn. His mother and his father together. Like, when we was in high school, they was together. I'm not sure if they're together now still. But they had a full household. He had a sister, a brother, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I would go over there and kick it with them. And his dad is like, his uncle is Joe Horn that played for the Saints. So his cousin is Joe Horn Jr. So, you know, we all playing football, blah, blah, blah. But his dad is obviously Joe's brother.
Yeah.
So
Diesel.
Swole. Bald head. Voice like Barry White. He not playing no games, bro.
Nah.
Ain't playing no games, bro. And he don't mean no ill will either. Like, I'll come over to the crib and he'd be like, Darren, I told you that. And I'd be like, you want me to go home, bro? Because I'll go home. Like, I ain't.
Like,
you gotta handle something.
Cool, you here now, you know
but and even the twins' dad, Mr. Jones don't play no games, bro. Like, and it's crazy because I never saw him when me and the twins first became friends. I never saw Mr. Jones, but that's because he drove 18 little trucks. I don't know if he still do that, but like, so he come to the crib. Be loud if you want to.
But see, that goes into my next question. Like, finish what you're saying, but like that directly flows into my next question I was gonna have.
Oh, that's pretty much it. Like
Man,
wake that nigga up if you want to.
bro,
Problem.
So hear me out. I feel like older generations, they had not even like too old, but like generations older than our generation. Like they had a more positive, and I think that just might be media as a whole. Black people as a whole just had more positive influence on the media. Like even if it wasn't like publicized like everywhere, but it was just within the black community. Whether it be shows like All That or Proud Family, or even going older, you got like certain shows where there were a lot of positive black male figures, and I hate to use this one as an example, but
Chill
like
Cosby.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You could have used
Or the Huxtables, let's say it like that. Or, cause
but I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? Oh, Good Times.
James, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's a lot of people now that probably wouldn't even consider him a good father because he wasn't necessarily physically there for his kids, but he provided for them in every way he could. But he did what he had to do.
When was he not physically there?
That nigga worked all the time, bro.
He came home at night.
And went to sleep.
He
dog.
did not go to sleep. He woke up in the morning before they went to school, and he was there when they got back, not shortly after they got back. You need to watch you some more Good Times.
Bro, I watched Good Times, bro. That nigga was angry the entire time.
Oh no, he was angry for sure, but he was there.
Right. That's okay. All right. Let me rephrase it.
He was always angry though, for sure.
When I mean there, I'm talking about like goes back to what I said earlier, like that emotional, spiritual, like that type of support. You know what I'm saying? Not like there as in like he wasn't.
I get what you're saying, because technically JJ was the man of the house.
Right.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they still respected him as a father because they know he was doing what he had to do.
Right.
Same thing with Julius. Everybody hates Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he may not have been the most, like, well, he had a few moments, but he might not have been the most, like, emotional or, like, spiritual parent as he could. But he was doing out there working 2-3 jobs, getting the bread. I said he had a few moments.
No. This is a side note.
Okay, go for it.
So are your children going to be Muslim?
I think it all depends.
You said spiritual, so that triggered the thought in my mind.
I mean, you got to keep in mind, bro, like, when I say spiritual, I'm not talking about religion.
I know what you mean. I'm just letting you know where the thought came from.
Yeah. Okay, so to answer your question, I believe that everyone is born Muslim. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then, like, throughout our life, because of free will, things happen. And, you know what I'm saying, if you decide to join later, as in, like, what I did, then you're a revert rather than a convert. Convert. So, like, that's what I believe. But honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't meet too many Muslim women, so I may end up marrying a Christian. If I'm being completely honest here, which I'm okay with, because as long as like we're all under the Abrahamic covenant, we'll be all right. Because like the stories are, granted, there's a difference, right? Mm-hmm. There are a few significant differences, but overall, it's the same storylines for the most part. Like I said, little differences here and there, where it stops, where it begins, and things in between. But when I say spiritually, I want them to make sure that like they're in tune with their relationship with God. Who that person may be to them may be completely different, than who it is like for me. Because growing up, what I'm saying, I was very conflicted when it came to like religion and everything like
I remember
that. Yeah, So when I found my light, it worked out very well for me, and it felt very natural. It felt organic. So I want them to have the same experience. Granted, Fridays, and obviously it's something I would talk to my wife about, my hypothetical wife. Fridays they going with me. We're going to Juma. You know what I'm saying? Sundays they can go with her to church. Mm-hmm. You feel me? And as they grow up, and I'm gonna make sure
pick one.
They can choose what they want to do. Bro, they can choose. They can go whatever route they want to go. If they want to worship nature and trees, I'm okay with that, because I do understand that God comes in many forms and fashion. Mm-hmm. I think God comes in a way that's more familiar to you. You know what I'm saying? And your life experience and how you're guided. So if you want to come through nature and water or whatever the case may be, and that's what you decide to worship, okay. You know what I'm saying? As long as you can articulate what you're feeling, I think that'd be my biggest thing. Like, don't tell me, oh, I don't believe in God. Well, why not? If you can't tell me why or, anything like that, then that's when I'm going to start to call your bluff. Like, obviously, I'm a open-minded person, but you're not going to play with me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
give me reasons, give me facts, give me something that you found. Don't tell me this because you heard Ray Ray say that in the lunchroom. You know what I'm saying? You see Ray Ray over there? Right there. Right there.
Right.
For sure.
You stupid.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, just something. Give me something. And the way I want to raise my kids, I hope they'll be able to, like, articulate their feelings and articulate the way that they come to certain beliefs that they may have.
They will be, as long as you give them that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So, not to say that you won't, but like we say, we hope that our kids are going to do this, that, and the third. But I feel like if we provide them with that proper platform, then that hope is more so when it happens.
Absolutely.
But we're not going to go. You had any other questions?
No, what you got, man?
All right.
You know me, bro. I got hella questions.
I mean, you're more than welcome to ask them, brother. But if you don't have any, then that's a different story.
How long we been going so far?
That's a good question. Oh, probably about.
It's been over an hour for sure.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's get to that question.
Okay.
But this is like natural, bro. Like, we be talking for hours on end. You don't even realize time going by.
Honestly, bro, I didn't even know that it was about to be 9 o'clock.
But, yeah, that's wicked.
So, given that this is the net, never ending tomorrow, what is one thing that you feel like or know is never ending tomorrow?
Oh, God, okay. Ask the question again.
What is one thing you feel like or know is never ending tomorrow? So, I can give you an example if you need one.
Please.
For me, I know that my drive and dedication is never ending tomorrow.
Okay.
Like, that's something that's going to always be continuous. My love for my household, my immediate family, that's never going to end tomorrow. Specifically with this topic, I know that my forgiveness for my father is never ending tomorrow. That doesn't necessarily mean that I've forgotten, but that forgiveness has been completed. And so there's no reverting back. Like, it's not like one day I'm going to be like, you know what, never mind, I hate him again. It's not the case. And so that's something for me that's never ending tomorrow.
I heard that, and that's beautiful, bro. I would say for me would be love and hope, right? Mm-hmm. Especially on the topic that we're talking about, hope in the sense of hope that black men in particular are going to continue to step up to that plate and handle their business as fathers, or hope that the men that don't get some type of awakening in their system that's going to be like, hey, this is my son, this is my daughter, I need to be there for him. Like, it's a necessity. I have to be there for him, you know? And then love in the sense of just like love in the black family, like the mother, the father, the children, just overall, like, our dynamic is so powerful. It's a reason why they try to break it up. It's a reason why they constantly try to put us against each other, and we just can't fall for it. So we have to have hope that those type of conversations or those interactions that I can't say that they cease to exist, but that they're limited, you know, and hope that the love that we have within our family dynamic is continuing to be shared and developed and passed down for generations. So that's something that's never ending to me, because it's always going to be there.
Okay. Might have the best answer for the episodes thus far. No offense to anybody else who shot an episode with us. That's fine.
Nah, that's genuine though, bro. Real talk.
All right. So the second question is, do you have a safety net? If so, what, who, or where is it? If not, what would one look like to you?
Ooh, man. And look, I'm going to answer this question, but it may not be the most healthy response, right? Because my first response when I'm going through something, bro, is to, like, isolate myself, you know? And I think that can be a little unhealthy when it comes to, like, okay, cool, certain people are counting on me, or certain people want to hear from me, or I may need to talk to certain people in order to get this and that from them, some type of wisdom, knowledge, guidance, or whatever I need. But my first reaction, my first thought is like to go to myself, and I know that's not the healthiest thing. Like, granted, you should always, go back to yourself at first, but like the way I depend on myself, it's a little, it's
Unorthodox.
it's unorthodox, and it comes from like it's rooted in me not being able to really depend on people growing up because like my emotions, my feelings, or anything like that, they weren't validated growing up. Like if I was crying, then you a boy, stop crying. That's what little girls do. If I'm hurt, that's what little girls do. Stop, you know what I'm saying? Like it was never really a moment in time for me to actually embody emotions and express them to other people. So I had to like over time I had to learn how to like kind of do that within myself. Like, all right, this is what I'm going through. I got to find a way to get past this. Either I'm going to work a little harder in this aspect, or maybe I need to study more, or maybe I got to develop myself as a person. They're not bad habits that I, go into because that's how I got to where I am now. But I do think at a certain point, I do need to start reaching out to other people. But if I do have to reach out to people, if I'm really going through that type of struggle, it would be y'all. It would be my line brothers, of course. 19 for sure. Eric, Chuck, Leon, that crew.
So it's safe to say your safety net would be
Friends.
after yourself. It would be your friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, at this point, I probably still wouldn't go to my family unless it's like family related. Like I said yesterday, I was talking to my mom about like my father's stuff, like, but it wasn't me being on like no emotional, vulnerable thing. It was us having a conversation because I hit her up. I was like, look, like, are you sure you have no idea who my father may be before I drop this $100 on this ancestry test, this DNA kit? Like, 'cause don't have me waste my money. It was more of like that type of thing, but it wasn't on no like, hey, I'm genuinely concerned about this, or this how this makes me feel, or blah blah blah. So yeah, I would just say just my friends, my male friends in particular. Women tend, in my experience anyway.
Brother.
Nah, like I'll confide in the women that I'm with, or the woman that I'm with, excuse me. But like a lot of things end up getting thrown back in your face in the midst of like a debate, an argument, or trying to prove a point or something like that. So I don't open up too much to women that I'm with unless like we're on like a very serious level. So yeah, friends, my male friends for sure.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, what about you?
Oh, I've already said mine in other episodes, but I can say mine.
I ain't hear
it. All right. So my safety net, would be. Well, obviously, right now, my safety net would be Tiffany.
For sure. Absolutely.
That's my first line of defense, mainly because that's my best friend. So anytime, and I won't say anytime because I'm still working on it. I have a bad habit of not talking when I'm going through something. I'm in my own head, but you can't do that when you in a relationship because your partner needs to know what's going on with you. So it's not a situation of whether you need to say like, hey, this is what I'm going through, but it's as simple as, hey, look, I got a lot on my mind right now. I just need like 10, 15 minutes to debrief and organize my thoughts before I bring them to you. And so that would be my immediate safety net. And then, of course, after that, I'll rely on one of y'all, one of my line brothers. I'll call y'all, or I'll call my little brother sometimes and be like, yo, I just want to vent, bro. You ain't got to tell me now. I just need to get it off my chest. But I do that a lot with either Tiffany or my line brothers. And so that's my immediate safety net. If I didn't have one, then my safety net would look like a structured sense of not someone who can hear me, but someone who can listen.
Yeah.
That with a combination of care and love would be what would create a safety net for me, because I could talk all day long, but if something is genuinely bothering me, or if I'm going through something, I need somebody to actually listen and understand where I'm coming from, and to not just hear me. So I hate when and hate is a strong word, but I do hate when I'm trying to explain something or get a point across, and the reaction or the body language of someone is just kind of like, I hear you.
Yeah.
That's cool. But I need someone to actually be able to listen and understand where I'm coming
Feel
from.
what I'm
So
saying.
yeah, that would be what my safety net would look like if I didn't have one. All right.
That's it, bro. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. You know, it's your boy Devin with a U, and you know how we do. I got Broome in here with me.
When did you come up with that slogan?
I just came up with it, but you know, so we're gonna tune out. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.
Boy, you a fool.